Hey everyone. So let's talk about something we look at every single day. Something so common we probably don't even think about it. The mirror. But what if I told you that this simple object completely changed how we see ourselves? We're going to get into how this simple act of seeing a clear reflection for the first time, well, it changed everything. But first, I want you to really think about this. I mean, seriously. Imagine going through your whole life having never seen a clear, accurate image of your own face. You might catch a glimpse in a puddle, but you wouldn't really know. For almost all of human history, that was the reality for pretty much everyone. And let's be clear about what that difference meant. Before we had modern mirrors, your reflection was this blurry, warped thing staring back at you from a piece of polished metal, or it was gone in a flash from the surface of some water. So the jump to glass mirrors wasn't just a minor upgrade. No way. It was like going from a blurry, distorted funhouse mirror to a crystal clear, high-definition screen. The change was absolutely massive. So how did we even get here? Well, the story of the mirror is a really long one. We're talking about thousands of years of innovation, watching this thing go from an incredibly rare, precious object to something you've probably got in your pocket right now. It all started about 8,000 years ago with polished volcanic glass in what is now Turkey. Then you had the Egyptians with their shiny copper discs, and the Romans were actually the first to make mirrors out of glass. But here's the key thing to remember. For literally millennia, a clear reflection was a luxury that only the absolute richest people could afford. It wasn't until the 1830s with mass production that mirrors finally started becoming available to, everyone else. And once that technology got good enough, man, it spread like wildfire. In just 50 years, right around the turn of the 18th century, mirror ownership almost doubled among the English middle class. So this wasn't some slow trickle, it was a flood. A whole new way of seeing yourself was just washing over society. And that right there brings us to the real heart of our story today. Because the mirror, it turns out, was so much more than a tool for checking if you had food in your teeth. It became this incredibly powerful instrument for identity, for self-discovery, and for some people, it was a tool of liberation. This is where you can really see the mirror's power. I mean, think about it. If the society you live in denies you ownership of your own body, then the ability to see and to own your image, well, that becomes a profound act of taking something back. For so many enslaved people, a mirror was a luxury they simply never had access to, which meant the very idea of what they looked like was this vague, abstract concept. And this quote from Millie Manuel, a formerly enslaved woman, just says it all. It is so powerful. She said, "I didn't know what I looked like till I was free." For her, knowing her own face was completely tied to the moment she gained her freedom. Just incredible. And this idea of taking back your own image also applied to other groups. For women in the 19th century, for example, their public identity was often defined entirely by how men saw them. The mirror gave them a new kind of power. It gave them a private space to look at themselves, for themselves, and to decide how they wanted to present themselves to the world. It was a huge shift of power, from being the one who is judged to being the one doing the judging. But people didn't just passively accept this new tech. Oh no. Native American peoples, for instance, they completely reinterpreted it. They'd trade for these European mirrors, and then, get this, they'd immediately break the glass out of the fancy frames. They'd put the glass in their own custom holders or even sew shards of it right onto their clothes, completely reclaiming the object and giving it their own cultural meaning. Now, the story is, of course, more complicated. According to the historian Rebecca Shrum, mirrors were also used to reinforce existing power structures. Her argument is that white men framed their use of mirrors as a tool for, quote, rationality and self-mastery, a way to know the truth, and they used this idea to separate themselves from women, Native Americans, and African Americans, suggesting their use of the mirror was somehow superior, which helped build up these racial and gender hierarchies. Okay, so all of this might feel like it happened a long, long time ago, but the mirror's legacy is, well, it's literally all around us. The journey that started with that first clear reflection leads directly to our modern screen-filled lives and our very digital sense of who we are. You can really see the progression, can't you? First, the mirror gave us this stable, private relationship with our own image. Then, the photograph came along and let us capture that image and share it. And now we have the selfie, which has basically turned our reflection into a constant, carefully curated performance for a public audience. Every step has made our image more visible, for sure, but also way more complicated. So I guess that leaves us with one final thought. Today, we have an infinite number of perfect mirrors right at our fingertips, reflecting us back with incredible clarity. But with every filter we choose, every crop we make, and every picture we post, are we actually getting a clearer picture of who we are? Or are we just getting a clearer picture of who we want to be? The technology has changed completely, but the fundamental question the mirror asks us, that hasn't changed at all.